Hey, good afternoon, good evening from the Fifth Third Arena in Chicago, Illinois for Game 1 of the 2025 UHT Chicago Dog Classic Tournament. We have 4 games this weekend. This is the first of 4 for your Pekin 10U Spring Hockey Team, otherwise known as the Dragons. Rip through the roster here real fast, just so you know who everybody is. In alphabetical order, number 19, Grayson Blevins. Number 91, Jasper Jacobazi. Number 6, Duncan Hill. In net today, goaltender, Adelina Johnson. Number 48. Number 16, Kian Ledbetter. Number 25, Jackson McCoy. Number 33, Jet Nefziger. Number 77, Houston Richardson. Number 24, Cruz Scholes. Number 20, Brecken Soviar. Number 12, Noah Viviano. We got a couple of kids running late this afternoon, so the traffic up here is horrendous, as you can imagine on a holiday weekend. So a couple kids will be joining us after the first period, we hope. Pekin 10U Spring Hockey Team head coach is Josh Gale. Assistant coaches Chip Hill, Neil Viviano, and Brian Blevins. And Ryan Scholes will be our penalty box attendant for this tournament. This is the first of 4 games, like I said. Today's opponent is the Chicago Stallions. And then we've got a game tomorrow morning at 9:25 a.m. versus Jackets Hockey. And another game tomorrow afternoon, 4:20 p.m. versus the Kenosha Comets. And we'll see how we fare in these 3 games to determine whether we're playing the consolation or the championship round on Sunday. The championship game would be at 9:20 a.m. or the consolation round would be at 10:20 a.m. on Sunday, May 25th. So there you have it. There's the schedule. This is the Squirt 10U B bracket. We're in the gray division, if that is important to you. Anyway, we'll see how we do. This is here, so apologize for that. I'll upload the game tonight if it's not coming through for you when I get back to the hotel. And who knows when that's going to be, because like I said, it took us an hour, over an hour, to get 16 miles from the hotel at this rink today. So should have just came straight here, I guess, but we figured we had a lot of time. Guess what? We didn't. All right. Starting lineup. Looks like we're going to have Grayson Blevins at center, Noah Viviano and Houston Richardson on the wing, Jet Nefziger and Jackson McCoy on defense. And Blevins for the face-off. Sends it over to the far side. Nefziger will chase it down, swats it up the near side, or far side boards rather. Tries to battle with some Stallions players, gets it up to Houston Richardson, and he'll muscle it up a little further. Back to Nefziger at the center line, centering pass to Blevins. Waiting for it at center ice there. Back over to Richardson, and then back to McCoy, waiting for it in the Dragon zone. Richardson, pass it back to Nefziger, looks like, in the Dragon zone, and he'll pass it up to Blevins. Waiting in the Dragon slot. Dragons advance it to the neutral zone. Stallions bring it back in, send it all the way down, and Adelina Johnson will make the save. Over to Jackson McCoy on the near side, over to Noah Viviano, and Stallions dump it back in, questionably offsides, but no whistle on that, so we'll just say it wasn't. Here comes Nefziger over to Viviano on the near side, and he'll advance across the neutral zone. And back to Blevins. Dragons cannot advance into the Stallion zone to save their soul, and Jasper Jacobazi will scoop it in. Houston Richardson in hot pursuit, and he'll center back to the back wall, picks up the puck, circles around the back of the Stallions net, looking for a centering pass. Oh! And back to McCoy, waiting at the blue line. He'll try to scoop it up in. Stallions advance back to the neutral zone. Cross center ice there, and back to Noah Viviano. Swats it back out to the neutral zone, and Stallions send it in offside. 10:18 remaining in the first period. Still scoreless. Face off in the neutral zone. Skulls at center, Duncan Hill and Noah Viviano on the wings, Nafziger and Jacobazi on the defensive end from the face-off. Across the neutral zone and then back across the neutral zone. Noah Viviano over to Jacobazi, battling it on the near side, sends it over to the far side boards. Duncan Hill races it down, scoops it up the far side boards, and Skulls. Ooh, advanced into the Stallion zone for a second there, and Stallions are off to the races down into the Dragon zone. Nafziger picks it up in the Dragon slot, scoops it off the near side boards. We're looking for Viviano on the near side, and he'll advance up the near side a little ways. Stallions knock it back, carry it back into the Dragon zone. Nafziger sends it over to the near side boards, and he'll race it down in the near corner, battling with a Stallions player. Picks up the puck, skates it around the back of the Dragon's net. Skating real slow out of the Dragon zone, looking for a pass, and Stallions intercepted. Here comes Jacobazi, advances in to the Stallion zone. Pass over to Skulls on the near side, and he'll let that go to the near corner. And battle along the backside wall. Turns it around. And Stallions pick it off in the slot. Skulls sends a shot wide of the net over to the back wall. Stallions pick it up, send it across over to the far side boards there, and Jacobazi will dump it in deep. And Viviano will race it down on the near side. Centering pass, waiting for Skulls in center, and puck gets deflected over to the far side boards. Skulls peels it off the far side boards, sends a shot, deflected off of some Stallions players there. Richardson will peel it off in the far face-off circle, back to Skulls, and Nafziger keeps it in the zone, sends it back in a little bit. Stallions bring her back out. Skulls picks it up at the blue line there, and Stallions advance across the neutral zone. McCoy's in hot pursuit, so is Nafziger. Whoa, save Johnson! Stick save. Puck comes over to the far side boards. And Skulls advances into the neutral zone. Skates it across center ice. And Stallions knock it back into the neutral zone. Offside Stallions face off in the neutral zone. 7:48 remaining in the first period. Still scoreless. Let's see if we can't get something going here. Blevins at center. Dragons are missing a kid. Duncan Hill and Houston Richardson on the wings. McCoy and Jacobazi on defense. Blevins for the face-off. Stallions advance across the neutral zone. And they'll pass it back. Here comes Richardson. Scoops it up, looking for Duncan Hill, and he'll chase it down on the near side in the Stallion zone. Sends a shot on goal. Save Stallions. They'll cover it up in the blue paint. 7:32 remaining in the first period. And Blevins for the face-off over to Jacobazi. And he'll pass it over to McCoy. McCoy sends a high shot, bounced it off a Stallions player and off of the Stallions netminder. Puck comes loose over in the near corner, and Duncan Hill's trying to chase it down. Stallions come out with it, back out to the neutral zone. Jacobazi back checks it over to a Stallions player, and here comes Blevins. He'll skate it in up the far side into the Stallion zone. Oh, lost the puck there for a second. Picks it back up, looking for Richardson. Ooh, got a shot, didn't have any gas on it. And then puck comes back over to the near side. Stallions come out with some speed. Nafziger back to defend. And goal, Stallions! Pekin Hockey down by 1, 6:42 remaining in the first period. Skulls at center for the face-off. Sends it across the neutral zone. Stallions keep it in the neutral zone, and Skulls will enter the Stallion zone. He's got a breakaway. Oh, sends a shot. Couldn't, he was losing his balance there. Shot went wide. Stallions pick it up on the back wall.
Stallions goal scored by number 68, James.
Nafziger races back for it in the Dragon zone. Turns it around, looking for a pass up to Duncan Hill. He'll pick it back up. Go! Nafziger skates it across the neutral zone and up. Oh, point blank shot, save Stallions. Dragons still down by 1. Stallions cross ice pass over to the far side and they'll paddle it back into the neutral zone. McCoy will pick it up. And Stallions knocked it loose, carried it back in, and Nafziger says, no, get that out of here. Back to the neutral zone it goes. Got 2 Dragons battling for it on the far side boards in front of their bench. Puck goes back to the far corner. Nafziger sends it up the far boards. And he'll reclaim it behind the Dragons' net. Looking for a pass. Sends it out to the neutral zone. Skulls waiting for it at the high neutral zone there, and he'll send a shot. Oh, save Stallions. Another point blank shot. Stallions come back out with it. And here comes Viviano. Steals the puck from behind. Sends it back up to Blevins, and he'll pass it up to Scholes. Scholes is out in front. Got a breakaway. Sends a shot. Save Stallions again. Blocker save. Puck goes to the back wall. And then back up to the blue line. Richardson had it in for a second there, and Stallions knocked it back out. All the way down. Should be an icing call, but it isn't. And Jackson McCoy will pick it up. Skates behind the back of the Dragons' net and got deflected out of play. 4:41 remaining in the first period. And we'll have a face-off in the Dragon zone. Excuse me. Blevins at center. Viviano and Richardson on the wing. Jasper Jacobazi and Jet Nafziger on defense. Nafziger passes it up to Noah Viviano, and he'll scoop it out of the Dragon zone. Blevins will chase it down in the neutral zone. Skates it up and down. Centers it up in the slot. Sends a shot. Oh, gets deflected wide there, it looked like. Either that or it was a wide shot. Puck goes to the back wall. And Stallions come up the near side in their zone. Richardson keeps it in for a second, and he'll bring it back in onside. He'll go down in front of the Stallions bench there, and Blevins will knock it back in deep. Puck goes all the way to the back wall. Stallions get there first. And they'll turn around, skate the other direction behind the Stallions' net. And Blevins stopped it in the slot there for a second. Puck got loose, and here comes the Stallions across the neutral zone. Jacobazi stops them in their tracks. He'll send it over to the near side. Back over to Blevins. Skate! Blevins advances into the Stallion zone, sends a shot from the slot. Goal, Dragons! Top shelf, baby! Dragons and Stallions tied at 1 apiece. And we'll start over with 3:32 remaining in the first period. Scholes at center, Richardson and Hill on the wings, Nafziger and McCoy on defense. Scholes for the face-off. Stallions win that battle, and they'll carry it in up the near side. Nafziger tries to pick the puck off. Save Johnson! Nafziger collects the puck, sends it over the far side boards, and the Stallions pick it off the near side. Here comes Nafziger. He'll help it out. Back to the neutral zone. Skates it across center ice there. Passes it off of a Stallion player looking for Scholes. Scholes goes down on his knees there, but he'll get back up. Send the puck in a little deeper. And back to Duncan Hill. Back to the Stallions. McCoy holds it in. And puck's loose on the near side. Back to Scholes. He's going to skate it up towards the net. Oh, just couldn't control it enough to get that backhand shot. Sends one through the crease and over to the near side, and Houston Richardson will race it down. And McCoy Tried to hold it in there with his body. He'll probably go off here for a second, it looks like. Unless that's offside, maybe it is. Yep. Offside call, face off in the neutral zone. 2:33 remaining in the first period. Scholes at center, Blevins and Viviano on the wing. Jacobazzi and McCoy on defense. And Jacobazzi holds it in the neutral zone. And it comes over to McCoy. He'll skate it across the center line, passes it up to Scholes. He's got 4 Stallions in front of him. Oh. And McCoy will pick it back up at center ice, passes it over to Jacobazzi. Jacobazzi looking for a pass over to Scholes on the far side. And Dragons advance it in offside. 2:01 remaining in the first period. Dragons and Stallions tied at 1 apiece. Same lineup. Nope. Nafziger's back out on defense. And from the face-off, Blevins over to Scholes. Scholes will advance it in. Sends a shot from the face-off circle. Oh, bounced off of the netminder and into the net. No, it's not into the net. Maybe it bounced off of him and out of the net. I don't know. No goal has been called. So I guess we're still tied at 1. 1:46 remaining in the first period. That was questionable, folks. The referee wasn't back there to call it. Scholes for the face-off. Stallions collect it, skate it around the back of their net, and over to the far side. They'll knock it back out to the neutral zone. Stallions pick it up in the neutral zone. Nafziger back to defend. And Viviano sends it up the far side, back to Scholes, and they'll advance it to Blevins. Blevins on another breakaway, right up the slot in the Stallion zone. Goal, Dragons! That's 2 for Grayson Blevins today. 1:20 remaining. Dragons up by 1. So good. Blevins for the face-off, over to Richardson and back to Nafziger, and he'll send it off the far side boards and bounces it into the Stallion zone. Yeah, McCoy tries to hold it in, and he does. Gets it back over to Richardson, and he'll send it up the slot. And Stallions netminder will cover that one up. 1:05 remaining in the first period. Pekin up by 1.
19, Blevins assisted by number 24, Scholes.
All right. Blevins at center. Duncan Hill and Houston Richardson on the wings. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. From the face-off, Stallions carry it back out to the neutral zone. What is going on? Dragons knock it back out to the neutral zone. And they're chasing the Stallions down with it. Here comes Nafziger. Passes it up to Blevins, and it goes all the way down into the near corner. Stallions get there first. Skated around the back of their net. Blevins is back there to meet him. He knocks it loose. Back to Richardson. Oh! Richardson had a backhand shot there. Got deflected back to the Stallions, and they're going to carry it across the neutral zone up the far side and into the Dragon zone. Sends a shot up the slot. Goal! Stallions. All right, Blevins at center, Duncan Hill and Houston Richardson on the wing. Jacobazzi and McCoy on defense. Blevins for the face-off. Stallions win that one clean, carry it in, and send a shot. Oh, save Johnson. Puck comes over to the near side, and Hill knocks it up the near side, back to the blue line, and a Stallions defenseman will send it back in deep. Whoa, send a Backhander through the slot there. Duncan Hill chase it down in the near corner. Back to Blevins. He'll dance it around the referee's skate. Pass over to Jacobazi, and that's going to do it for the first period of play, folks. Dragons and Stallions tied at 2 apiece after 1 period. All right. I'll take a little breather here and a sip of my delicious beverage. I don't have any sponsors to talk about this tournament. We're self-funding this one. All right, let's go Dragons. Starting for period 2. We're switching sides and going the other way. We're gonna have Scholes at center. Viviano and Richardson on the wings. Jacobazi and Nafziger on defense. Scholes for the face-off. Knocks it through the feet of the Stallions player there, and they'll send it over to Viviano on the far side. He'll try to tap it in up the far side boards, and he does. Richardson's in hot pursuit. Stallions knock it back out to the neutral zone, and they'll skate it over to the near side. And send it back into their own zone. Here comes Scholes from behind. And Stallions pick it up behind their net. Skate it over to the far side boards. Richardson stops him on the far side there, and he'll come out with it. Oh, tries to pass it, and puck comes back to gets deflected back to the far corner. Centering pass to Scholes. Scholes! Ooh, save! Stallions, and puck comes over to the near side. Stallions try to collect the puck. And Stallions come back out with it across the neutral zone. Jacobazi back to defend. He'll knock it back over to Nafziger on the near side. Sends it back into the neutral zone, and Scholes will race it down. Carries it in all the way down to the Stallion zone. Centers it up. Looking for Richardson. Goal! Scholes! Dragons up by 1 again. 10:54 remaining in the second period. Woo! Blevins at center for the face-off. Duncan Hill and Scholes on the wing. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. Puck comes over to the near side in the neutral zone. Dragons will be offside there. 10:46 remaining.
Scored by number 24, Scholes.
10:46 remaining in the second. Face-off in the neutral zone. Blevins at center. Scholes and Hill on the wing. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. Blevins for the face-off. And they'll battle for it in the neutral zone here and advance back into the Dragon zone. Puck goes over to the far corner, and McCoy will chase it down. Sends it up the far side boards. The Stallions peel it off. Send a shot. Nafziger will stop that one. Skates it back out to the neutral zone. Up the far side, down into the Stallion zone. And sends a shot off the side of the net. And he'll pick it back up. Sends another shot from the face-off circle. Puck goes off of the netminder or through the crease over to the near side. And Nafziger stops it at the blue line again. No, he doesn't. Puck comes back out to the neutral zone. Dragons send it in on side. Nafziger tries to hold the line there. And Stallions come back out with it across the neutral zone. Blevins gets in the way, sends it over to Nafziger on the near side, and he'll scoop it back out, looking for Scholes in the neutral zone, and there he goes. Whoa. Back to Nafziger. Oh, kicks it over to the far side boards there in the Stallion zone. And Stallions knock it in deep. Nafziger will race it down on the back wall. Pass over to Blevins, waiting on the near side boards in the Stallion zone, and he'll scoop it up to Cruz Scholes, waiting in the neutral zone, and he'll advance it right up the Stallion slot there. Sends a shot wide and off the back wall. Stallions pick it up behind their net, and Duncan Hill will race it down on the near side. Stallions advance it back out to the neutral zone. Jacobazzi's going to get there first down in the Dragons' end, and he'll skate it around the back of the Dragons' net. Up the far side, scoops it out to the neutral zone. Stallions try to send it back in, but Duncan Hill sends it over to the far side boards, and they'll battle with two Stallions players and the referee there to try to get it back the other way. Here comes Scholes again across center ice. And back to Blevins. Blevins carries it in up the far side, sends a shot from the top of the faceoff circle. Goal! Goal! Dragons! Blevins goal! Top of the near faceoff circle. And Blevins for the hat trick. Dragons up by 2. Scholes for the face-off. They'll advance it across the neutral zone. Oop, couldn't quite scrape it into the Stallion zone there. McCoy will pick it up, center ice. And Stallions send it over to the near side. Richardson battles it back in offside. 8:27 remaining in the second period. Pekin hockey up by 2. Scholes for the face-off. Stallions come out with it, and Dragons send it back up to the blue line there. Peel it off some Stallion skates, and Scholes sends a shot high, up the slot and in. Goal, Scholes. Dragons up by 3. 8:15 remaining in the second period. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. Scholes for the face-off. He'll chase it down in the slot again. Sends a shot. Goal! Scholes! That's a hat trick for him today. Dragons up by 4. 8:06 remaining in the second period. Blevins for the face-off, and puck comes back to Nafziger in the Dragon zone. He'll skate it over the far side, passes it up to Jackson McCoy. Oh, and Stallions picked him off there, looks like. Puck comes back up the near side. They'll pass it back to Nafziger in the Dragon slot, and he'll pass it up to Blevins. And Viviano trying to race it down on the near side there. Here comes Blevins to help him. And Stallions pick it back up, carry it down into their zone, and Blevins is in hot pursuit. And Viviano slaps it up to the back wall, centers it up in front of the net there, and Blevins is in front. And Stallions will cover. 7:17 remaining in the second period. Dragons up by 4. Face off in the Stallion zone. Blevins at center. I think that's Viviano and Hill on the wing. Nafziger and Jacobazzi on defense. Stallions win the face-off. Carry it back out to the neutral zone. And Jacobazzi will chase it down on the far side. Whoop, Stallions advance closer to the net. Send a shot. Glove save. Johnson. Puck goes loose and over to Nafziger. Looked like a save anyway. Maybe it went off the back of the net. Save. Johnson. Save again. Whoa, boy. That was exciting. Puck comes over to the far side boards, and Jacobazzi will scoop it out. Blevins will battle it away from the Stallions there at center ice and carries it in. Sends a shot. Goal, Dragons! Top shelf, baby. Grayson Blevins makes it 7-2. Pekin hockey on top. That's 4 for Mr. Blevins this evening. Goals for the face-off. And we'll drag it across the neutral zone there. Duncan Hill scoop it into the Stallion zone. Stallions knock it back out. Jacobazzi will chase it down. And he'll skate it around the back of the Dragons' net there. The Stallions are there to meet him, unfortunately, but he'll scoop it up to Duncan Hill, and Duncan Hill tries to get it out to the neutral zone. And Stallions pick it up at the center line, send it back into the Dragon zone. And Stallions send a shot. Save Johnson. Oh, puck's loose, puck's loose. Save Johnson again. Oh my goodness. She didn't know it was underneath her. Woo! 5:55 remaining in the second period. Dragons still up by 5. That was a butt clincher. All right, Hill and Richardson on the wing, Nafziger and McCoy on defense. Goals for the face-off. And goal, Stallions. Stallions reduced the deficit to 4 goals. 5:50 remaining in the second period. Pekin hockey 7, Stallions 3. Goals for the face-off. Carries it into the Stallion zone. Stallions knock it out momentarily, and Viviano taps it back in. Here come the Stallions with numbers. Back across the neutral zone. Nefziger tries to free it up, and Jackson McCoy will help it over to the near side boards. Back to Scholes on the near side, and he'll poke it out to the neutral zone. Back to Richardson, back to Scholes. Scholes carries it in, sends a shot up the slot. Save Stallions, loose puck, and they'll cover in the crease. 5:18 remaining in the second period. Face off in the Stallion zone. Scholes at center, Viviano and Richardson on the wing, Nefziger and Jacobazzi on defense. Scholes for the face-off. Stallions pick it up, carry it behind their net, send it up the far side boards, back to Jacobazzi. Oh, he tries to send a one-timer in, didn't have any heat on it there, and Viviano's battling in the neutral zone for it. Nafziger sends it back to the neutral zone. Back to Viviano, sends it up near side, looking for Scholes, and Scholes picks it up, carries it in, sends a shot up the slot, save Stallions. Nope, loose puck, and Viviano's battling for it on the back wall. Puck comes back to Scholes, wraparound attempt. Ooh, puck rolled through the crease there, back over to Viviano, and he'll center it up to Richardson. Tries to backhand one in, puck is loose, and the referee blew it dead. 4:33 remaining in the second period. Dragons up by 4. Blevins at center, Duncan Hill and Richardson on the wing. Jacobazzi and McCoy on defense. Blevins for the face-off, sends it to the back wall, and he'll passes it back to the blue line there. Jacobazzi will have to chase it down, way down deep in the Dragon zone. And Duncan Hill tried to stop it there. Puck comes back out to the neutral zone. Stallions battling with Blevins at center ice. They'll carry it into their zone, send it off the far side, waiting to a player waiting for it on the near side, or far side boards rather. And get up! Stallions free it up in the far face-off circle in the Dragon zone, and McCoy's battling for it on the back wall. Richardson collects it, sends it off the near side boards. Stallions hold it in, send a shot off of Blevins, and puck's loose on the near side. Stallions get it again, center one up. Whoa, save Johnson. Oh my goodness. I don't even think she meant to do that. And back to the blue line it goes. Blevins will try to race it down. Stallions carry it back in to the Dragon zone up the near side. Man, Stallions can't get a shot off. Back to Jacobazi, and they'll race it across the neutral zone and down into the Stallion zone. Left the puck behind for a second, picks it back up. Oh, sends a shot wide over the back wall. And nobody's over here on the near side, so the Stallions will exit back into the neutral zone. Yeah. Stallions. Save Johnson!
Get back, Jet!
Puck comes back out to the neutral zone. Finds Cruz Skulls waiting for it. And save Stallions. And centering shot. Oh, centering pass. Duncan Hill had a sniff there. Puck comes back over to the far side. And back to Nefziger in the neutral zone. Back over to Blevins on the near side. Carries it in. Tries to send it through the feet of some Stallions players. Skulls will pick it up. Sends a shot. Glove save, Stallions. 1:57 remaining in the second period. The Dragons still up by 4. Blevins at center. Hill and Skulls on the wing. Nefziger sends a shot. Oh, high over the net into the back wall. I thought it was going in. Back to McCoy. Sends a shot. Goal, Dragons! McCoy from the blue line. Dragons increase the deficit back to 5 goals. 1:45 remaining in the second period, and looks like Brecken Soviar has joined us on the ice. Soviar and Viviano on the wing, Blevins at center. Blevins for the face-off. Soviar sends it back over to the far side. And Jacobazi tries to send it across center ice.
Goal scored by number 25,
And
assisted
Stallions
by
battle it back into the Dragon zone. Jacobazi tries to paddle it back out. Nefziger will chase it down in the far corner. Go! And Nefziger picks it back up, skates it up the far side and into the neutral zone. Zigs and zags across center ice and loses the puck there over in the far boards. Tries to center one up, looking for Soviar in front of the net. Puck comes over to the near side, and Soviar will chase it down. Back to Jacobazi at the blue line. Sends a pass over to Viviano, and he'll chase it down in the far corner in the Stallion zone. Stallions send it back up their slot. Nefziger sends a shot. Bounced it off a Stallions player and over to the far boards. Viviano chases it down. And he's battling with 2 Stallions on the far side there. Centers one up, looking for Soviar. He'll chase it down on the near side again. And, oh, too hot to handle there. Puck comes out back to the Dragon zone. Jasper Jacobazi will pick it up, skates it around the back of the Dragon's net, and he's got a guy on him there. Sends it over to the far side, looking for, well, puck comes back out to the neutral zone there, and Stallions will send it in offsides. 12.9 remaining in the second period. Dragons up by 5. We can hold on to this lead. We'll have a clock roller when the period starts. The next period, I mean. Blevins for the face-off. And over to Soviar. Soviar skates it into the Stallion zone. Sends a shot from the face-off circle and saves Stallions. Puck comes back out to the near corner, far corner rather. That's going to do it for the second period of play, folks. Dragons up by 5 after 2. And I'm going to take a break for a sip of my cold and smooth Goose Island Hazy Beer Hug. Thanks again for watching, folks. It's going to be a fun weekend. We're up here to have fun, see how we fare against these spring hockey teams. Give the future first-year 10U kids a taste of what it's like. And we'll practice for our returning 10U kids. Should be a good time. We got a game again, like I said, 9:25 tomorrow morning. And 4:20 tomorrow afternoon. The outcome of these first 3 games will decide who goes on to the championship round on Sunday, or the consolation round on Sunday. All right, let's go Dragons. Period 3 starts now. Gonna have, I don't know. Missing a wing and a defender. Jacobazzi and McCoy on defense. Scholes at center. Ledbetter has joined us. He'll be on the left wing there. Houston Richardson on the right. And Richardson battles it with all of the Stallions in center ice. They'll come out with it and send a shot down. Ooh, on net. Save Johnson. McCoy will chase it down on the near side. Sends it up looking for Richardson. And puck comes back out to the neutral zone. Scholes trying to chase it down. Stallions turn it back around. Ledbetter battling forward at the center line. And McCoy holds it into the neutral zone. Sends it off the near side boards, looking for Richardson on the near side. And he'll skate it in up the near side into the Stallion zone. Tries to center one up. Stallions stop that one. And he'll advance back out to the neutral zone with it. Down into the Dragon zone. Whoa! Save Johnson! Puck goes to the back wall, and Jacobazzi lost his stick. He's trying to kick it over to McCoy, and Scholes will chase it down. Passes it to himself off the near side and skates it out to the neutral zone. McCoy holds it in to the Stallion zone. Skates it over to the slot, sends a shot wide of the net into the back wall, and Stallions pick it up. Back to Jasper Jacobazzi. He'll send one up towards the net. Stallions will intercept that shot. Skate it up the near side. And they'll advance back down into the Dragon zone. Back off the near side there. Stallions try to hold it in, but Scholes has other plans. He's going to skate it across the neutral zone on a breakaway. Sends a shot. Save Stallions. They'll stop that one, blowing it dead in the blue paint as the clock rolls down to the 10:05 mark in regulation. Dragons up by 5. Face off in the Stallion zone in the near side face off circle. And we got Blevins at center. Duncan Hill and Brecken Soviar on the wing. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. Nafziger held it in for a second. And Stallions skated back out across the neutral zone up the near side. Nafziger will deflect that shot wide to the back wall. And Soviar will pick it up. Tries to skate it out of the Dragon zone there. Nafziger paddles it back up to Soviar again. Soviar will chase it down on the near side. Oh! Head-on collision with a player there. We got a stoppage in play there. And player down. He's on his feet, folks. He'll get a stick tap and a round of applause, and he'll go back to his bench, it looks like. No, he won't. He's fine. Hockey's a tough sport, ladies and gentlemen. Duncan Hill and Brecken Soviar remain as the wingers, and Blevins at center. Stallions advance back into the Dragon zone, and they'll send a shot wide. Here comes Duncan Hill. Skates it up the, that's not Duncan Hill, that's Jackson McCoy. He'll send it off the near side and down into the Stallion zone. Soviar is racing it down. He'll get there first. Oh, left the puck behind, crashed into the goaltender there, and then puck comes over the near side. Back to Blevins. Dangles around a Stallions player there, looking for a shot. Oh, off the face mask of the Stallions netminder, and Soviar almost had a rebound attempt. Back to Blevins again on the near side. He'll skate it over the center. Sends another shot. Loose puck off the side of the net there, and Stallions set it up the near side. Back to McCoy. McCoy paddles it back in deep to the near face-off circle. And, oh, Duncan Hill. Ooh. Oh. And Stallions will stop that play. 8-0. Clock's rolling down past 8 minutes in regulation. Face off in the Stallion zone. Scholes for the face off. Back to Jacobazi, and he'll fire one up the slot. Goal, Dragons! Jacobazi from the high slot. Goal, Jacobazi! Clock rolls down to the 7:20 mark left in regulation, and the Dragons are up by 6. Scholes at center, over to Ledbetter. And
goal scored by number 91, Giacobazi, assisted by number 24, Scholes.
Attaboy. Dragons battle it up the near side. Ledbetter sends it in front of the Dragons net there, looking for Viviano, and back over to the near side. Ledbetter tries to bust it free, and Jacobazi frees it up, sends it back to the blue line. Stallions hold it in. Look out. And Dragons pick the puck back up on the near side there. Here comes Jacobazi. Tries to scoop it out to the neutral zone, and he does. Stallions battling with Scholes, and Scholes will come out with it. Dangles around a Stallion player. Sends a shot up the slot. Save Stallions, and they'll cover it up outside the crease. 6:10 left in regulation. You got to know when to hold 'em. Know when to fold 'em. And Blevins for the faceoff. Over to Duncan Hill. And Stallions, almost came out with it. Hill sent, looking for Blevins again. And back, almost had a pass to Richardson there. Beautiful backdoor opportunity, and Hill sends it back up to Blevins on the far side boards, and back to the back wall. Stallions will get there first, but Richardson comes back to meet him, and he'll free it up. Back to Blevins in the near face-off circle. Dangles around all the Stallions. Sends a shot, glove save Stallions. Clock rolling down to the 5:20 remaining in regulation mark. Face off in the Stallion zone. Blevins for the face-off. And Duncan Hill swats it across the face-off circle there. Over the near side, Jacobazi shoots it through the legs of a Stallions player, and it bounces back to Duncan Hill. Oh! Goal, Dragons! Richardson goal. 4:50 remaining in regulation. And that brings the score to 10-3, ladies and gentlemen. The big rig strikes again. Blevins at center for the face-off, and Duncan Hill swats it across the neutral zone. Stallions try to fire it back, and the Dragons were there. Here comes Richardson.
Number 77, Richardson.
Richardson sent a late shot there. They might give him a penalty for that. Didn't hear the whistle. I heard something. Couldn't tell if it was a whistle or a... Yeah, it was. No penalty, luckily. Face off in the neutral zone. Scholes at center. Ledbetter and Soviar on the wings. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. Yeah, Scholes for the face-off. Back to Ledbetter and back to Scholes again. Scholes tries to dance through some Stallions traffic in front of the slot. Ledbetter back to Scholes. Oh, off the post. And Soviar peeled it back into the crease. Goal, Dragons! I wasn't sure who got that one. It might have been another Skulls goal there. There was a lot of activity in front of the net. Score is now 11-3. Pekin Hockey Club on top. And Skulls for the face-off. Stallions bring it over to the near side and scoop it back up to Jackson McCoy over to Nafziger. He'll pick it up, skate it around the back of the Dragons net. Dangles around some. Uh-oh. Stallions traffic there, and he'll kick it back to the back corner. And up the far side it goes. Skulls will try to chase it down up the far side, and he'll get there first. Skates it in to the Stallion zone. Backhands it towards the net there, and Stallions send it back up to the blue line, looking for McCoy there, and he'll send it back in deep. Skulls will race it down on the back wall. Centering pass. Oh! Soviar was there waiting for it. Dang. Here comes Stallions. Back out to the neutral zone. Nafziger holds it in. Sends it up to Skulls. Skulls out front. Another breakaway opportunity. Hard shot right off of the Stallions netminder, and Skulls comes back out with it. Centering pass. Nope. Shot off the side of the net. Stallions send it back up the far side. Nafziger holds it in. And Soviar paddles it back in deep into the Stallions zone, and he'll race it down on the back wall. Stallions get there first. Send it up the near side. Jacobazi stops it at the blue line, and out! Just snuck past Nafziger there, and he's in a foot race for it. Paddles it up the far side boards, and here comes Soviar across center ice. And he'll free it up. Oh, there's a Brecken Soviar sandwich going on over here, and then puck comes over to the near side. Clock rolling down to 1:25 remaining in regulation. Jacobazi peels it off the near side. Oh, deflected off of a Stallion player there and almost went in the net. Oh, loose puck in front of the net. Cruz Skulls is all over it. He'll pick it up. Oh, and he's got two guys on him. Stallions collect it, send it over the far side. Nafziger gets there first, centering pass. Oh, and Stallions come out with it into the neutral zone. Nafziger and Jacobazi back to defend. Nafziger will swat it over to the near side boards. And passes it off the Stallion to Brecken Soviar. We got 4 on nobody, basically, and Soviar rocks one up the slot, dangles around the netminder, and goal, Dragons! Brecken Soviar goal as the clock rolls down to 25 seconds remaining in regulation. Dragons up by 9. As Adelina Johnson
goal scored by number
achieves her first win for her first game. Way to go, Pekin Hockey! Dragons race back to congratulate their netminder on a game well played, and they'll line up at center ice for the celebratory fist bump. And we will see you guys tomorrow morning at 9:25 from Canlan, West Dundee.
Ultimate Hockey Tournament. Safe travels and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Against the Jackets Hockey Club. I assume they're Yellow Jackets. Guess we'll find out tomorrow. Thanks again for watching, folks. This is 33's Daddy. I'll be signing off for the evening, and probably going to have to drive for an hour and a half to get back to my hotel 15 miles away, but hey, that's why we're here, folks. It's all part of the experience. All right, thanks for watching, folks. This is 33's Daddy signing off. Let's go, Dragons!